in Canvas Plus. I'm going to spend a little bit of time in here because one of the things that we knew at the very beginning when I'm going to use this one here, at the very beginning of launching out Canvas Plus and putting our audio video editor into play, one of the things I knew from being an editor for over 30 years was that I was missing some of my fun tools. Like I can go in and I can make a really great video with just cuts and little transitions between the cuts, just because I've done it for so long. But that's hard for a brand new person to get going. And so we miss some of these little things that would be great to have just to help make editing easier and cooler and all that good stuff. So I'm going to bring this up to a little different aspects ratio. I'm going to do that just by coming in and choosing my different site. Maybe I'll go full HD if I want to. And then I'm going to go into my clips. I'm going to go to videos. And you know what? I'm going to just go up here because I actually want to use the image that I had already on my eggs. So actually, no, I'm going to use this. So I'm actually going to do this. And actually, I have to go here to get her, insert that in. Okay, so actually, I'm going to do both. I'm going to grab both of these then. Go ahead and grab her. I don't know it's cool with that. It's just a little turn. It's a weird turn. Oh, isn't that? Really? Maybe. I like this one's a lot slower. It's just real subtle, and I like it because you can do some cool things. So I'm actually going to load that one in. So now I got my 3 different clips in there, and really what makes this whole thing going to work great the way I want to is I want to do a nice transition between each of them. And so I'm actually going to start maybe with this clip here. And you notice I just click it and it drops right in, and you can see I can get the play button down here, and it's just going to start to play. So I want to click on that clip, and then what I want to do is I want to come up here and just scroll up after I've clicked on this clip, and you're going to see new things called animations right here. And you can see select. And if I hit select, I have all of these different actions now. I have in animations, which means from the beginning of the clip, I'm going to have an in animation. And from the outside, I'm going to have an out animation. So how do I want that clip to leave? And then I have loop animations that work all the time. If I wanted to have this just spin and spin and spin, if I really just wanted to do that, I can just drop that on there, and that's what it's going to do. It's just going to spin. Okay. If that's what you want, maybe it's a logo, you're doing something like that. That's great. All right. If you don't want that, you just come over and hit reset and get rid of it. Okay. So now let's do this though. What I do want though is I want this to be a dissolve in. All right. So I'm going to go to my in animation, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to see fade. And now look, all these different ones that are here. Okay. And if you want to see all of the in ones, just hit more right here. And it's going to open it up so you can see them a little bit easier. Right. So now I'm going to do fade. And so I just wanted to come in. Now I can choose a background. Maybe I want that background white. Okay. So I want it to come from white. So now I've got all that set. I can come down here now and just play it. Yeah, it was really fast. Okay. So I really don't want it to be that fast though. So I'm going to go back up to my fade. I'm going to click on it. And now you can see that I have a duration right here. So I want to do it for 2 seconds. So now I want my fade from white to be in 2 seconds. And now I've got my perfect fade. But now I want to have it go from this to another clip. And I want them to cross fade at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an out. Okay. So this is my in animations. I'm now going to go over to my out animations, and I'm going to find my fade. And I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I'm going to click and get my time. I say I want it to be 2 seconds as well. Okay. Maybe yeah, let's choose. Now I got my whole clip. I got to fade in for 2 seconds. I'm sitting here looking at it, and now I'm going to fade it out in 2 seconds. Okay. Now I want to loop. I'm going to actually turn that off so it just stops so I can see what it looks like going through here. So it's fading out to white. Now I want to go, I don't want that to do that anymore. Okay. So now I'm going to go up to my other clips. So I'm going to videos, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to drop in my other clip. And I actually want to do it like right where that starts to turn. I'm going to go ahead and add my new clip here. Now I want to extend this out. So I'm going to go here and go fit view. You can want to extend this out too as well.
It's important to note that, and this has come up several times in my inbox, the animations won't appear in your tools until you actually have something on the canvas. If you're not seeing animations, then it's because you don't have anything over canvas.
Yeah, you have to have something to apply it to, because it's connected to the clip that you're doing stuff with. So make sure that you have that. That's a good point. Okay, now I have this nice little dissolve going down, but I know I want this to be a full screen. So we all know that you just grab these corners and you can go ahead and lay it down on top because it's an layer above. So now I just want this to do a nice little fade. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go back into my fades, my fade in. I'm going to run this for 2 seconds, just like I did the other ones. Ooh, there's my 2 seconds. And I can literally just have it start to come right in over the top of the other one. And I've got this nice cross fade now between the two. Now I can do the exact same thing going the other direction, right? I've got this nice move, this nice fade. And sometimes you can actually get down here. If I was to do this fade, I would actually do this. I'd actually blow this up a little bit and I'd actually move it over just so that I could try to get her face in a little different place. So like they're coming across each other over there. So I really would do something like that and I raise around just so that I can have that kind of look and feel. Everybody's their own way, right? So you got all this going on. I got that nice dissolve then. It pushes it over to the side. Okay, so this is easy manipulation to get what we want to do. And let's say I want this clip down below. Okay, so I want the eggs to also be there and I want it to also dissolve out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to move my clip so that I can get my dissolve to work. And I have to go back to getting my animation here because I want to fade it on the way out. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 seconds in. I'm going to fade that one out. And you'll see she's fading out to my egg. Now, obviously, I want that to happen a lot faster. You can do that a couple of different ways. I can just move that clip and you can see that I'll just do that dissolve right away. And so I can go through and do it however you want to do that. So remember that when you're doing like big things, like I did my move here, the only thing that's going to be rendered out is what you're seeing inside of the actual racket. Okay. Inside of your actual canvas. So all this other stuff out there, it's not going to go in your render. And so you'll see that, but you're only looking at what's inside of your actual window there. That's what's going to be rendered out, put into your final. Okay, and the last thing we would need to do here is just do, maybe I want this to maybe pan out. So I'm going to do an out. I'm going to do it on a pan and I want it to do pretty quick, actually. So I'm just do it like in this. And this, you'll see that I have a way to pan it to the right. I can pan it up, down, left, however I want to do that. I can also show the distance that I want it to move. And I can also come in and show what kind of acceleration do I want it to bounce in? Do I want it to wiggle? What way do I want it to do a smooth and move away naturally? And I don't want to do a smooth natural away from it. I'm going to be longer than that. So it's a little smoother. I'm going to go ahead and hold out 2 seconds. And you can see there it's going to move away to my white. Now you also see that it's got fade, right? So I'm doing this on the way out. It's actually fading on the way to this. So I've got everything set the way I want. And now I can just go ahead and render that out and I am all set for my video. Now there's all kinds of animations. There's not just fades. I think the fades are just one of the most important ones that most people would want to have. But anything that you do, you can do it on images as well. So if you want to drop an image in, you can do the same thing to that image. You can go in, find your animations, and you can slide it in maybe. I still slide in here and we'll do quickly. We'll have it come from the left. So let's go through it. So it's going left. So actually we want it to go the other way. So I'll actually flip this to, okay. So now I'm going to have it slide into the right. And I might want to push it, position it right on the shooter, and maybe I'll just take it down because I want to put like a little montage to get it on the right side. So now I can do that. And if I wanted to do this like several different times, I can just copy and just paste that clip. So it's easier to do that where I can just paste the clips. So I'll get these clips in here. And now maybe I want to put them all in this corner, like here. Okay, but I want these all to slide the same way, right? So I can have one coming after another, but I want them to be staggered out a little bit. So I'm just going to drag them and stagger them out. And then I'm going to go into them and I'm going to do the exact same piece. I put a 2 second animation slide on them. Go here, get out of my placeholder, go to my slide. And I'm going to put on 2-second LiDAR. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. And now I should have this little building. I know where is what we want. Now, if you want that one to come in first, you can just swap these around. You can have them come that way as well. And you can have a lot of different fun playing with as many things as you want. You have all these animations and tools now to do it. You can do that with text. You can do that with any layer that you're putting on, and you have slide, pan, fade. Blurs are another huge one. To be able to blur in and out is another thing. I use it a ton when editing, and so I want to do it like this, and I just want to blur it out. And so I can play with a lot of different things that I want to do with them, and it's just like a lot of fun of things that you can do along the way. So just have fun and play with them. So what she's talking about is rendering out. Okay, so you see up in the top up here we have render. The first thing I would do is I would save it. So I'm going to come in and send you, this is my demo, and Heidi, just so she can find it. Okay, so I'm going to save that. This is called a scene, by the way. So I saved my scene, and now I'm going to go in and I say I want to render it. And I'm just going to do an MP4. So I'm going to put in here is Heidi render, and just hit render. Now, there's two things you can do here. You can wait, which I prefer just to wait, just because it's not going to take like too long. It might take a minute or so to get finished. It didn't even take that long. And so now I have my piece here. I can see it. I got all my editing the way I want it. Great. Perfect. Give me my eggs. There we go. And fade it out. Okay, good. So I got my clip the way I want it. I can download that right now if I want to. That's just going to go directly out the door, and we're all good. But now let's say I'm done with that, and I want to go find my render. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit open. Okay. Actually, if you're looking for, ask her if she's looking for the scene or she's looking for the render, because there's a difference. If you want to reload your scene that you're doing, you just hit open, and then you would go into your search assets, and you would find them here. This is your demo Heidi scene, and this was going to reload back everything that's already here. Okay. That's what the open is. And if I want to find the render, then I'm going to be looking for something different. I'm going to go to my assets, and then I'm going to go to my renders, and there's my render right here. So now I have my render. I can actually insert that, and I can have that video be used again. If I look at my videos, you'll see that this was my render version of it. Maybe it is, maybe not. Here inside the videos. Now, here's my render version. If I want to bring that in, I can actually lay my render version on top of that as well, and I can play that out too. So that's how you'd find it. If you want this thing to be full screen, by the way, you just go ahead and pull it and match it back into your canvas size. And I always do it this way. Everyone else can do it however they want. But that's the way I do it. So now this will be my render that I just sent out, and I can just play it right in here and combine it. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Again, if you are wanting to open up something that you've already done, you just go into your search assets, find your templates, and then you can name them. So this was not named. So I'll go ahead and I'll insert this. And what that's going to do is going to reload everything. So this, anything that's already been done, that's inside of my scene. So I have this video that's inside my scene already. And so I can move these around and do whatever. So that's one scene. If I want to come in and open another one, actually, I want to just rename maybe this one. So I'll save it. Here's the front demo. So I'll say that to my project. I know these are all going into Selfless because that's the project that I'm working in. And so now I can actually go ahead and hit open and go back over here. You'll see my storefront demo scenes. I can come back here. I can rename them. I can do all that kind of stuff. You can also do that from the asset manager that's over here. But essentially what you have with your assets on the actual tab inside of Canvas is the exact same thing that you have in the asset manager now.